Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 9th day of July. Today is National Sugar Cookie Day.
I do like sugar
I
cookies.
do too. Now, do you like them with or without frosting?
I like my mom's sugar cookies, and they are without frosting.
I think that's probably my preference too. Otherwise, they get a little too sweet.
They do get too sweet.
Although, you know what? I don't think I've ever turned down a cookie in my life. So, just letting you know. It is also Collector Car Appreciation Day today. So, for those of you who collect cars, today's the day to appreciate that. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool project thing to do, to collect cars. It's not something I do.
No.
But it's, collector car.
And are we
appreciation
talking
day.
like toy collector cars, or are we talking like real collector cars?
I don't know. It just says Collector Car Appreciation Day. I do know this.
I do appreciate it.
I do too. I've got a guest joining me today, Sid Viscious, the wrestler.
Oh, wow. I remember Sid Viscious.
He's a friend of a friend, and he lined up this interview, and I'm excited to chat with Mr. Sid Viscious in just a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. New survey reveals Americans how they really feel about barbecuing and pizza and their favorite foods on the grill. Survey of people from coast to coast reveals surprising results. 57% say hot dogs are a sandwich. 15% say they put cheese on their burger and they put it on the bottom of the meat. Boneless wings are more popular than bone-in wings. 18% eat their pizza with a fork and knife, and 56% of respondents say grilling is the best method to prepare a hot dog. 13%, by the way, think microwaving is the best way. There's a lot going on in that survey.
There's a whole lot going on.
So is there any of those
things? I do
things?
eat pizza with a fork.
No, not always, though.
It depends on the kind of pizza, but a lot of times I do. I eat
I
with
like
a
to
fork.
just grab it with my hands and snarf the whole darn thing. Hot dogs are a sandwich. I don't know. I guess officially,
I mean, officially it's on
I never
bread,
thought
but
of
I
that,
don't think of it as a sandwich, no.
And you put cheese on the bottom, not on the top of your burger? What is wrong with you? Oh, it's only 15%, so that's not many. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. He was on a mission from God. Louisiana man said God told him to visit a local jail to get his family out. He ended up behind bars on a drug possession.
His family was behind bars. Okay.
Yeah, 35-year-old Bobby Cook, arrested after midnight Saturday. He drove to the jail, according to him, with divine intervention, God told him.
Yes.
After he was doing a little meth. A guard at the jail pointed out that this gentleman was wanted on a harassment complaint. He said God told him to come here to get his family out. Instead, he get to join him inside. He did admit to having a little bit of meth before visiting the jail, by the way.
Everybody knows that God encourages people to break family members out of prison.
I don't think that's anywhere in the Bible.
In the book of Con Job.
I don't think. Con job? I see what you did there. Deputy found a bag of meth inside the vehicle that the guy drove there, by the way, as well. So in addition to being on meth, he got charged with possession of a controlled and dangerous substance. And he got to go see his family after all. It has an
Isn't
happy
that
ending.
nice?
Happy endings for everybody.
Nice little reunion.
Yeah, it's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Weekend box office totals. Holy cow. I haven't done this forever.
No, I know it. I didn't even know they were doing them again.
They are. This is from last weekend. I apologize because I was scrolling through and I just saw this and I was dumbfounded because I haven't seen
right.
weekend
Not
box
at
office
all.
totals for like a year. So F9, The Fast Saga brought in $24 million last week, and that remained them at the helped them remain. I don't know how to say that.
It's been a while.
They stayed at the top of the box office. The Boss Baby Family Business opened in at number 2, $17.3 million. The Forever Purge made $12.7 to finish third. A Quiet Place Part 2 finished fourth, $4.2 million, and The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard capped the top 5 with $3 million. Wait a minute. What is that? The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. That's the name of the movie.
I'm surprised that they made another Quiet Place. Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, Quiet Place Part 2.
That movie was painful to
It wasn't
watch.
yours, huh? All right. Well, that is the weekend box office, and now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of PureCanna.com, promo code radio. If you are a UFO tracker, you're supposed to head to which state, Heidi? Which one do you think has the most UFO sightings per
Nevada?
person? No, Idaho. Idaho has
Really?
the most UFO sightings per person.
I would have never
So,
guessed that.
Well, of course you didn't, because you guessed Nevada. So
Now we know.
Hey, a study of 160,000 resumes turned up this statistic. More than half include mumbo-jumbo vague phrases like team player, driven, detail-oriented. Experts say these phrases reveal nothing about a job candidate and should be cut out of the resume entirely. They also say do not brag about your great communication skills. That is the top vague phrase, appearing on 12.5% of resumes. So, what should you put on your resume? They say give specific details, like grew sales department by 68%, or produced payroll for 2,000 employees. Most recruiters spend 5 to 10 seconds looking at your resume, so you got to grab their attention quickly, according to the study.
Or managed to work with women without shanking anybody.
That is something Heidi literally said in an interview, and she got the job. They said, do you work well with others? And she goes, well, I'm not going to shank anybody if that's what you're asking. And they hired her. How is that possible? It's a true story.
It is a true story.
If your boss
and
says...
it was a law firm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. And I got one last thing to get to here. Researchers from the United Kingdom have invented a new weight loss device that stops users from eating by clamping their mouth shut.
I could probably use that.
This is what I need too. And sitting there watching a movie with a big old gag in your mouth. And like, can you pass the chips? All right, that's your scoop of the day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Our guest today is Sid Viscious, a wrestler for the WWF, WWE, WCW. You wrestled for quite some time. When did you get started wrestling?
I mean, honestly, I don't keep up with dates. I know early 80s.
Well, your wrestling career spanned quite some time, and you were with WCW, WWF, which later became the WWE. Is that pretty typical for people to be a part of both? Because those are two different organizations, right?
Well, it's common. I don't think people were a part of both as often as I was. I think I was in WWF either 2 or 3 times and WCW 2 or 3 times. We won't go into it, but there was a reason for it. But I was in both probably more often than anyone else was.
Now, as a wrestler, a lot of the time, the persona is larger than life. But visiting with you, you seem like a pretty calm, cool dude. You don't really seem that vicious, Mr. Sid Viscious.
I mean, in real life, I'm a little more quiet. I think if you ask the guys that work for me, they probably disagree with you. Saying I'm a tough guy to deal with. But for the most part, I'm really laid back and a little bit shy. And then, I don't know, I stand up for myself a lot. So it could come across as either or. Some people think I'm a nice guy, or they really think I'm a jerk.
Well, no matter what they think, either way, you are a 6-time world champion. That is pretty cool to be a world champion even once, but 6 times. That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, it was, I only count 5, and you're missing one. I was world champion for WCW for like a minute one night.
Oh, no kidding.
I actually enjoyed that 1 minute more than I did all the other ones.
What was so cool about that 1 minute?
Well, I've said this before. What it was is I was told this is when there were only 4 pay-per-views a year, and I was told by the booker, Billy Anderson, every interview you in, and Sting was the champ, you just tell him you're going to be the next world champ. I remember going through those 3 months. Before he came to me one time, I said, Sid, you really shouldn't say that in your interviews because, as a heel, if you don't become world champ, that could really make or break my career, which is a stupid statement. And that's why a lot of people consider Ric Flair stupid. But again, I said, Rick, hold on a minute. I'm not doing this out of my own. I'm being told to say this. And this is what happened was, long story short, we got to Halloween Havoc. They came to me and said, during your heat, take Sting out of the ring, throw him through the back door, which had intros for bad guys and good guys. When he comes back to the ring, he'll be selling his head if someone hit him. And you just roll him up 1, 2, 3, and you're the champ. And of course, I don't question anything. I said, okay, sure, I don't care. And when he came back to the ring with holding his head down, I rolled him up and looked down. It was Barry Windham. Now, again, this is when there was only, 4 pay-per-views, so there was a 2 or 3 month span, but there wasn't one. So he took some time off. Barry did to lose some weight to look like that for that moment. Now, and this is also which is sort of set me off guard, but that's not uncommon for Barry to take off 2 or 3 months in the business because he did that all the time for the weirdest reasons, and I don't even know why because it's not my business, but he's always missing 2 or 3 months at work at a time. So I just thought that was something else happening. But when I wrote him up and beat him, I just had to assume real quick on my own that they'll probably cover this up, being the next night being TV, and they'll explain that somehow, I cheated and Sting deserves a rematch. So what happened was I get the belt, I faced the audience instead of the camera. That was a bad move. As I'm raising the belt like I am the world champ, I heard this crazy ovation. I looked in the ring, it was Sting on the other corner. There was another referee there. He's grabbing the belt from me saying, take the Stinger splash, 1, 2, 3. So I said, okay, why not? I'm just doing what I'm told. So all that was, I never knew about that, never knew that was happening. Even being in that moment like that, to me, that's a lot cooler. I've always thought if you fool the boys, you fool the people. Now, there was different stories why that happened like that. Barry Windham, I've heard, has told the story that he said I knew that the whole time. This is not true. I don't know why I would be saying this to you or anyone else. Barry not knowing he's not at work for 3 months at a time. He didn't know what's going on. I really believe this is what was happening. Ole was, as a booker, he was sort of on his way out. And I think some people in the office said, let's don't let Ole mess things up any worse than they are. They put the belt on Sid. The next guy in charge won't know what direction to go in. I don't know why it was done. I was told also that Ric Flair thought I was too young to be champion and stuff like that. But and I think that was probably the most of it, that people like him was jealous of me. I mean, thing was, for me, I was told from day one I'd probably never be world champion because I didn't need a belt to draw money. And usually the people that put belts on, they put them on to help them draw money.
And you were doing fine even before the belt. And again, congratulations on not 1, not 2, but 6 world championships between the WWF, WWE, and the WCW. Our guest again today, Sid Viscious. I've got a link to his info in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The fire hydrant patent was lost in a fire.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the patent was credited to Frederick Graff Sr., chief engineer for Philadelphia Waterworks during the 1800s. Unfortunately for Graff Sr., the patent was destroyed when the patent office in D.C. burned down in 1836. After 100 years, retired firefighter George Segalis reinvented the fire hydrant after they had been failing to work in too many critical emergencies. So That's kind of interesting.
That's
so
very
the original
interesting.
patent was lost in a fire. So I don't know why I think that's interesting.
It's very interesting.
It is. It is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Sri Lanka. A little girl in Sri Lanka got the scare of her life when she opened her front door to find a 9-foot crocodile sitting on her
Oh,
doorstep.
jeepers.
That is a big old crocodile. So, what would you do if you
Any
opened your...
crocodile would be
Yeah.
a big crocodile
True.
sitting on your doorstep.
What would you do if you opened your front door and you saw a 9-foot crocodile sitting on your doorstep? Would you close the door?
I'd reach for my gun.
Oh, there you go. Because I'm sure that the crocodile would know exactly what that is.
It wouldn't need to know for long.
See, I don't know if crocodiles are endangered or not. Well, they would be if they're on Heidi's step.
They'd be very endangered. If they were
Exactly.
on my
RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A tractor-driving Texas woman was arrested for allegedly driving a massive vehicle into a 4th of July parade route without permission. 61-year-old Lori Bostic, accused of causing a wild scene at Saturday's parade last weekend. Without approval, she allegedly took part in a parade event, but refused to cooperate with police and officials who said she drove dangerously along the route. At one point, she refused to pull over for police and eventually crashed into a fence before getting arrested.
Jeez.
Charged with evading arrest, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and interference with a processional. So
See, I only drive erratically trying to avoid parades.
Heidi is not a fan of parades.
Not even a little.
Ever. If you ever see us going through a parade, I'm almost positive Heidi won't be in there. Although, the funny thing is, people always say, hey, where's Heidi? I'm like, well, she's not here.
I don't like parades.
And she'd rather be getting a root canal than do this.
That is not a lie.
Yeah, that is today's weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by BetterResultsAdvertising.com. A 19-year-old told police he was unaware that he may have urinated on a toilet seat at a maintenance shop where he works. Sheriff deputies in the county were sent to the shop when there was a bit of a fracas, Heidi. The teen told
What
the
is
deputy
the issue?
he used the restroom, and then he went to finish working when a man came outside, began to yell about the toilet seat. The man, 36, was then said to have pulled out a handgun and cocked it.
Oh
according
my
to the report.
gosh.
Says, come down here. I'm going to shoot you in your... And then it says on here, redacted. So I got a feeling I know what he was going to shoot him in. The deputy spoke to the alleged gunman, who admittedly had confronted everyone outside the business in reference to the urine on the toilet seat. The man was arrested on aggravated assault and other charges. The report said he first claimed to have pointed a radar gun at the teen, then later said, okay, well, yeah, it was this pistol that you guys found. They think he lied because, as he put it, he was scared. So
Oh, he should have been. That is insane.
it's a bad idea. Don't do that. It's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, But I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi, are you ready for this one?
Of course I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Canyon Breeze, Beaver, Utah. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
I'm going to say it's a golf course.
And Canyon Breeze is a golf
got
course.
one.
Yay, Heidi, you made the corner here. You're gonna get the whole rest of the month right. How's that
I
sound?
thought you were going to say I could get the rest of the month off.
No. You get the whole rest of the month correct.
Okay.
That is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Take a listen to this headline. After a 12-hour shift, these police officers spent a few hours helping Waffle House staff get up and running. It's happened in Tennessee. There was an unexpected bit of help from some exhausted police officers after several employees walked out mid-shift. Sergeant John Bright told the TV news channel that did this story that they visit this restaurant every week after their long 12-hour shift. They said the popular place was closed for the first time ever when they got there. They asked what was going on. A waitress said, well, a bunch of people walked out, leaving us, high and dry, piles of dirty dishes, overflowing trash. We're short-staffed. There wasn't a single clear dish in sight. That's when they said, you know what? We can help out. There's one elderly woman there. He said, I'd never seen her, but she had a really bad arthritis in her hands. Looking at her, you could tell it hurt her to work a broom. Aww. So they said, you know what? We can just help them. The officers said for a couple hours they cleaned and they took orders and they got the restaurant back up and running. Why did they do it? The officer said, because they understand a stressful job.
Absolutely.
They say it's stressful for us in the jail because once these people are arrested and brought in, they're mad. They're upset with us.
Yeah.
We have to talk them down once they get there. So I love the story. There's a video here. If you've got the time, you can click and watch it if you'd like. But I can tell you from just watching the video and even just seeing the photo, you can tell these guys seem like super nice guys.
I don't think there are near enough positive stories about law enforcement, so I'm really glad that that this is out there. I mean, they're out there, but people don't report them.
Well, and a lot of time you got to look for them. The negative stories are right on the top of the page.
They're all over the place.
But, you get on like page 9, then you finally find something positive. But this is a very positive story.
It is. That's fantastic.
Have you ever pitched in and helped at a restaurant that you didn't work at? You ever do that?
No.
I did that. Growing up, we went to a place called Happy Chef, and it was kind of a similar thing where there was like a bunch of people, but like 2 people working because a bunch of people quit. So me and my friends at our table, we got up and we were helping. We had a blast, had a ton of fun. The people working there, I think, were kind of fed up with us by the time we left. They're like, okay, when you turn in orders, we can't just write all this. You're making stuff up we don't even sell. We're like, we're having fun. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.